What are your experiences with dating foreigners? And how long before you decide to sleep with a man? When is that? So I'm trying to interview Vietnamese girls to get their idea and their feelings towards dating and possibly marrying foreigners. What percentage do you think of Vietnamese girls are still virgins when they marry in Vietnam? Okay, so one thing about Vietnamese culture, I think we can share with everybody that might help a little bit is.
Because they feel like you are cute.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. How old are you? Maybe not the
20s.
best. 20 what?
I'm in my 20s.
So I'm trying to interview Vietnamese girls to get their idea and their feelings towards dating and possibly marrying foreigners.
Okay, so for me, and I think that most of Vietnamese girls, they really like the appearance of foreigners because they look handsome with the bright skin and they are very tall. So I really like them, but then when it comes to dating, maybe the culture is kind of different.
Sure.
So I just say I don't really like to split the bill, especially for the first date or second date.
Right.
But I will always encounter that situation. So
Tell me, like, what country that you encounter that culture where the man asks you to split the meal on the first date, right?
yeah, American and English guys.
Mm-hmm.
And,
British guys, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, most of the time, the American guys, and I feel like they are too fair to me. For example, it's okay when we go to the cafe and we pay first to get the drink, but on the date, I went out with a guy and how to say we came to the counter to order at the same time, and he let me to pay for my drink, and I felt disappointed, and I didn't want to see him again, although he asked me why, but I didn't say.
And how old was he?
Uh, Maybe 26 at that time.
26.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that might be the culture. Anybody knows this because I don't have a lot of American friends that age. I think that might be the culture in America, but it just does not fly with Vietnamese girls, does it?
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
difference because here in our culture, Vietnamese guys, whenever we date and we go on the date, so usually they would pay. Not only for drinks but also the meals.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, very generous. That's why when I meet the foreigners, I feel like it's too fair for me, and I don't
Fair,
like
too
that.
balanced, right? I
Yeah,
see what you
something.
mean. That
Yeah,
makes me
yeah.
laugh. So let me ask you this. So with Vietnamese guys, the first date they pay for everything. Second date, right?
Yep.
Third date. So the first 3 days. When does a Vietnamese girl think that maybe she should pay part of the meal?
Actually, how to say, for the first, the second, and the third day. So let's see if the girls have the feeling for him. So we are going to go on a real date, like now a girlfriend and a boyfriend. And the good girl or the girl who is sensible, so she would share. But
Gotcha.
for the girl who is high maintenance, right?
Right.
I have no idea, but I believe some of them they don't want to pay. And usually Vietnamese men they are okay with that if they love the girls because they like the feeling to take care of the girl they like. Because I don't know about that. For me, it's different. But some of my friends say to me they always let the men pay, and they would how to say would say something not good when they heard that I share with the men. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So they're really old fashioned. And let me ask you that. So your friends that are like that, right? Want the man to always pay for meals and always
Yeah.
buy gifts and so
Yeah.
forth. What do they give to the man besides themselves? I mean, do they offer to marry them and take care of the children, or what is it that they bring to the relationship besides their body
You
and
mean
their
the,
looks?
the girls, right?
Yeah, the high maintenance girls.
Let's see. I feel like I don't know, but I feel like that. How to say? They have the good ending.
They have a good ending.
Yes.
Mm.
Hmm. Actually, I
Interesting.
think that you can feel that when the girls like when the girl like you. So maybe you can feel, and when the girl doesn't like you, so maybe you can feel too. And yeah, some girls, how to say? Some people call them gold diggers, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure that we have some types of
Mm-hmm.
those girls.
So, yeah, there are definitely gold diggers in every country, but Vietnam definitely has some too, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
And
With
yeah, but
foreigners and with Vietnamese men, you're saying, right?
mhm,
Yeah, I think so. I've noticed both.
yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, those girls I just share with you, they are traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And for modern girls in Vietnam, because we have the chance to meet foreigners and we have good English, so that's why we can exchange the languages and we exchange the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, we have become understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
We understand about the culture, and the modern girls, I believe that they can share, they can share.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
but not the
sometimes.
first 3 days, right? That's what I
Yes.
try and tell my listeners. If you're
Yeah.
coming to Vietnam and you want to date a Vietnamese
Mm.
girl,
And
and I think it's the same thing in Thailand from what I've experienced. You just need to pay for a
yeah,
while,
yeah.
and so what do you think? Like if a guy pays for 3 dates and spends some money, do you feel like as a girl, do you feel like you're obligated to hold his hand, kiss him after 3 dates? Or when do you think it's okay to kiss a man or hold his hand or tell him you like him? I mean, how do you approach that? Do you say I like you
I think that
or
after 3 or 4 dates, and I think that it's good to hold hands.
mm-hmm.
But kissing maybe after a month.
after a month?
Yeah.
So
If
yeah,
yeah, if the girl has feeling for you, so after a month.
so take your time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
takes time.
And if a man, let's say you go on 3 dates and he's holding your hand and he's walking you back home and he tries to kiss you, does that really upset you or does it just upset you a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. So it's not a deal breaker where you're like, oh, I'm not seeing him again. It's not that crazy, right?
Yeah, no.
It's just like it's too quick.
Yeah, because how to say,
Man to man.
if he tries to kiss me, so now I just agree or disagree. That's it, but
Mm-hmm.
not upset.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. So in your personal experience, how long do you wait before you kiss a man?
In my experience,
Yeah. Like, what's your
uh, usually I say 3 or 4 dates if I like the man.
if you like the man, right?
Want to make them disappointed, so I would say that maybe I'm not into you or
Mm-hmm.
something. Yeah.
But thanks for the meals.
No, I don't think meals are very important.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that
Yeah, because
hopefully you can make enough money that, and you don't have to go. Let's go back to this. So when you're going out for meals or a drink or something, it doesn't have to be at a fancy place, right?
yeah,
It doesn't have to be expensive. Just an okay place. So,
yeah, not street food.
not street food. No
Street
banh
food.
mi. You're not getting off that cheap. No street food.
Yes.
Just okay though. But
Yeah.
you don't need to go into like El
Yeah.
Gaucho and spend
No.
100
no.
US
Yeah.
dollars or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So maybe like a mall with
Yeah,
some okay
the
food.
mall,
The
yeah.
malls, and if you guys haven't been here, the malls in Asia have a step or two up from American mall food. Mhm. How long before you decide to sleep with a man? When is that okay?
It depends because some Vietnamese girls here, some
Mhm.
Vietnamese girls, they are still traditional.
Traditional means virgins, right?
Yes.
And they
So
want to stay virgins until they're married.
yes. Yes.
So, in your opinion, because you're still in your 20s, and you deal with a lot of students, what percentage do you think of Vietnamese girls are still virgins when they marry in Vietnam? Because I've heard that it's gone from really high numbers. I think it was 89% in 2010 were virgins when they married, and now a bunch
Yeah.
of people told me it's flip flops. It's
Yeah.
only a few percentage,
Yeah.
10%,
10%, yeah, I think 10 or 20%.
are still virgins when they marry.
Yeah.
Wow, so it
Yeah.
really
For
did flip.
example, I have maybe my close friends,
Hmm.
maybe around 20. but I think that's just only one girl
I
is
just want
virgin.
you have a door to opportunity in that situation. I see, I see. Oh, that's so interesting. So it really has changed. Let me ask you this, because I don't understand exactly. I've heard K-pop is a reason, but just out of curiosity, what is the reason, do you think, that the Vietnamese culture has changed so much in 14 years? That now that the younger people are so much more open to sleeping with each other before
Yeah, because of
marriage.
the development of technology like social media,
Mm.
TV,
You mean
and
all the sexual stuff they see on
on
the internet or
yeah,
social media?
yes, and
Interesting.
yeah, how to say the countryside girls sometimes if they are not well educated, so they even have pregnant. They are pregnant
Hmm.
before 18.
Yeah.
It's a lot in the countryside, but in the city, the rate is not high like that. But the rate between countryside girls who are virgin
Hmm.
is higher than the city girls.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, that's interesting. I'm glad that I heard it from one more person to cement that that's kind of a dead thing in Vietnam. Because I think in America, right now, it's 11% of virgins when they marry. So, how important do you think it is that foreigners, when they come here, that they can speak a little bit of Vietnamese to date? Does that make it easier for you, like with your family, or is it just not that important?
I think how to say it's not only in Vietnam but in other countries. It's not important, but it's better. It's much better if you can communicate with your partner's relatives, family
Yeah, a little
members.
bit, right?
Yeah. And for example, when you come here and you speak Vietnamese, so you can make the great impression on the girls because they feel like you are cute.
Oh,
Yes,
interesting. So you
yes.
think that Vietnamese girls think it's cute when a
Yeah.
guy tries to
To
speak
speak
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah.
It's not easy to speak Vietnamese, right?
And whenever we laugh, it means we feel like you are cute, not because you say something wrong and
Ah, good
we laugh
point.
at you. Yes, but we feel like you are cute, and that's the good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vietnamese girls are not mean in that way at all. They're very polite and sweet
yes.
about things like that. Okay, so one thing about Vietnamese culture I think we can share with everybody that might help a little bit is how you don't hug in Vietnam, right? Even your own parents. It's very
Yes,
rare
yes.
that you hug your mom or your dad, right? Yeah, I think you're all right. I think you'll be okay. So, are you interested in meeting any of my followers on YouTube?
Sure.
Okay, put it in the comments.
Because I have to say, yeah, as I say, Vietnamese girls like to meet foreigners.
Yes, interesting.
Yes, because you guys are very handsome, very
Mm,
tall, very beautiful.
mm.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me and sharing your culture about Vietnam. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to this interview.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah,
All right. See you guys in the next one.
yeah.
Put in the comments if you want to date Amy. I'm going to have to screen you, though, first. So you're not a Looney Tune. Okay.